Lower body, not gonna travel. Again, other than that, no timeline on it. We just wanna make sure we in the lineup, he's not gonna put himself at further risk, so we'll keep, medical staff will stay on top and go from there.
Is this the same thing that's been bothering it?
It's similar, yep, sort of same area, so again, they think this is the best way to go for now, so.
When, would you, any concern that, Crosby recently decided to shut it down and have the procedure done, because it's something similar, any concern that?
I don't know what Crosby has compared to Berge, to be honest with you, if it would require a similar treatment to make it all go away or not. I haven't been in those discussions, so to answer your question, no. Could that come up down the road? I guess it's possible, but I haven't kind of poked my nose in that particular, avenue of treatment. For me, it's been we're gonna keep him off the ice certain days, other days he's full go. This time we can't play him like this because he'll just aggravate it. So that's what they tell me, and off we go.
Before this kind of latest situation, was this back to back somewhere where you were thinking about, maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe giving him a rest?
No, 2 weeks ago when he was fine, we were just gonna play him, and then it kind of started. There was a little bit creeping in, so then we talked about, well, maybe on the back-to-backs we can't push it. So yes, then what was the last one? Toronto, Washington. And if you're referring back to that, that's certainly something we've talked about. But now it's at the point where back-to-back or not, they just feel he's better being off the ice. That would be the best way to respond.
Coach, you've referenced it before, and Pasta did to me as well, just about how Montreal does a good job covering the bumper there in the power play. With him out now, I mean, how do you combat that?
Well, we'll probably put Coyle in there. That'll be the first thought. We tried Kretsch a little bit in there, or Pasta in there, and Kretsch on the elbow. I just think those two guys both like that one spot. So we'll put Coyle in there. If they overplay Pasta, then we got to make sure we get pucks into Charlie. He's got, he doesn't have as much experience obviously as Kretsch in there. He's gonna have to work on a bit of what plays are available to him. How he get a shot off in there, and then look at maybe some other options as well. Moving people around, depending on the kill. Montreal's not that aggressive, so maybe Pasta moves around a little bit. We find a spot for him if they overplay him. So those are all things we'll kind of adjust as we see it, but that would be our initial kind of game.
What else did? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did he bring one guy up or two?
We're looking at two right now. Simply one will obviously go in. Ritchie's out as well. That is a recurring injury that I think they're going to look at it a little more long-term, how to deal with it so it doesn't come back. So he won't travel either. I suspect his might be a little more like the Nordstrom scenario. So we'll be out to Lindbergh, why do I call it Lindholm will definitely be back in. His was a situation, I think we'd said he had a bad gash. If he had to play the other night, he was pretty uncomfortable, so that's kind of settled down a little bit. So he'll go back in, and then we'll probably, of the two forwards coming up, we'll definitely play one, but it's a little bit of, if we get another injury while we're away, then we already have another body with us, and we have the roster space.
Do you know who it's going to be?
We're looking at Stunichka and Gons right now, those two guys, and that'll be confirmed later, because they played 3 and 3, so whoever it was not going to practice with us today and then play again tomorrow. That's a tough stretch. They're going to have a day off. So.
What did they do best against you last time they played? When you went back and looked at the video.
Well, they finished well. Their D got involved in the play. Mete, I think, had 2 goals. Now, one, our goalie got wiped out, so I don't know. But they were top of the circle goals. Was it Petrie with the other one who moved in?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they were attacking a group of 5. They're typical Montreal. They get through the neutral zone quick if you're not clogging lanes or getting over people. I thought when we got going in the second period and controlled the puck a lot more with a good forecheck and by eliminating those passing lanes for them, forced them to defend in their own end a little more. And that got the game tilted in our favor. So that's how we got back into it. But that's what they were doing well, I thought, was getting their D a little more involved.
With Lindholm's cut, is there any worry about that getting infected?
That's a good question, the way it's gone, but that hasn't been brought to my attention till now, so I assume they've hopefully dealt with that accordingly. I think now that it's been, we're up 3 days, let's say, has it been?
Yeah.
3 or 4 days, I think we're kind of past where the other guys are having problems.
Would you move
might. Lindholm can play between Nordstrom and Wagner if we do that. I don't wanna, Mike, I'll go happy to go through all that with you once we confirm who's coming up. I think there was discussion down there to make sure it's healthy bodies. Donnie's in Germany, so there's a bit of a time change as well, so those are the guys that originally said that we were looking at. We could move Coyle to the wing if we put Jack or Gauntz if they're the guys into the middle, so there's some options there. Or Corrali to the wing for that matter if we want to keep Coyle in the middle. Kretsch will go up, play with Bergeron Pasta. I know that much, and we'll sort of, not Bergeron, Martian Pasta. Sorry.
You had said,
What plus run is done this season? It's very hard to who's doing, who's that, last season, is right, and this last year, who's doing plus run.
Which one, sir?
Plus run.
I think he's hit his one-timer cleaner this year. So obviously his execution of his shot is better. I think he's stronger on pucks, second effort. Some of the plays, the Ottawa play, coming out of the corner, the play to Marshy, the Toronto goal, I know he put it between his legs, but he's been stronger using body position around the net. I think he's done a better job. Even the goal he scored against Ottawa off the end boards, the indirect. He's scoring more goals, I think, from on top of the crease in the dirty, or not just relying on his shot or off the rush. I think that's one area his game's improved in terms of the offensive side of things. So he's in traffic more. I think we kind of made it an issue, not an issue. I talked about that at training camp. That's what ultimately hurt us in the final. We weren't able to get inside. Credit to St. Louis. So I think as a group, we've tried to reinforce that more, and he's taken on a little more of a responsibility in that area. And I think he's stronger, a year older, and he's able to do it.
Speaking of playoffs, do you think he took from maybe some disappointing performances in the playoffs for himself, took anything out of that he's renewed focus for him?
Only he can answer that. I wasn't as down on David as everyone else. I thought, like a lot of guys, he had ups and downs. We had good team production, so we got through it. At the end of the day, he wasn't as good as he had been, but clearly none of us were at the end. So he, deep down, is he? Again, only he can answer that. I don't address it with him or any of those players. Like I said, last year's over. We just got to play and hopefully put ourselves in that position again. We are there and get it right.
What kind of reports have you gotten on Studnik at the Bruins?
He's been very consistent. He's been scoring a lot. Killed penalties well, scored a shorty the other night, so playing in all area facets of the game. Our concern with him coming up, I guess when he left here, would be at his first recall is how's his strength going to be. So we'll see if he's a guy going in there, we'll find out. He's handled it well down there. When we look at Providence, we typically want to reward the best player. It's kind of been the philosophy. Every once in a while, you go outside of that because there's a line matchup issue, a position issue, maybe whatever. There's a couple of odd times you may go away from that. So, and I've been told he's arguably their best player. So, kind of stay out of his way, hopefully, and just let him play, and we'll see where he's at and then coach him off from there.
Tuca tomorrow?
I think we're going to play Yarrow simply because Tuca was originally scheduled, but now that'll be Tuca's month is getting up there now, and that's part of what we talked about in the summer about how we want to limit games. So that might go the other way, just to keep it consistent going. Coming out of Ottawa, then you have a day off, then New York, so it's more that goes into it, just splitting them the two, the back to back. It's a little bit planning ahead for the next. We have 11 games in 18, something like that. So
Yeah.
we got to be very careful on the splits here.
Thanks.